Hello everybody, Frank Kenny here. I want to share with you some small business training webinar tips. A lot of people have been asking about should we be offering webinars at our chamber, and if we do, how do we do it, and what software do we use, and how do we do the payment processing and all that. So I just want to share with you some things that I've learned from helping chambers and associations from across the country with their webinars. For those of you that I haven't had the pleasure of meeting yet, I am a former chamber president and CEO. We doubled the size of our chamber through social media and technology over an 18-month period. And now I've been doing webinars and speaking and consulting with chambers and associations all across North America for the past 3 years. So we've done hundreds and hundreds of webinars for thousands of small businesses and chambers. I got a couple books on the topic, faculty of the U.S. Chamber. So webinars, you see them everywhere you turn nowadays. If you're on Facebook, you see Amy Porterfield doing some webinars. Kim Garst is doing webinars, this one on the new Facebook hashtags. Mari Smith doing webinars. Hugely successful, some of these webinars. You can see when I took this screenshot, it was at 8,300 registrations for her webinar. 8,300 people, that's a stadium, would have been watching her webinar. By the time registration was closed, it was at 12,000. So the question that some chambers have, do small business people watch webinars? And the answer is clearly yes. They want training on social media and human resources and all sorts of different topics. So the questions for you as a chamber exec would be, do you currently provide your members with business training? If so, you're probably going to have to start offering it in the ways that they want to receive it. But if it's not a strong suit for your chamber, if you've never done or you don't do training seminars or try to help out your members with business skills, then maybe you don't need to do webinars. But if this is in your wheelhouse, if training your members on business is in your wheelhouse, it's time to start offering webinars. And you probably should start offering them digitally so that they don't have to drive into town. They don't have to meet and mingle. And we love it when people network, but the fact is the members don't have the time as much anymore. You lose a morning with the drive in, the hour of the seminar, mingling for half an hour to be polite, the drive back, your whole morning shot, and they don't attend always that way. But if they can be at home, working in their home office in their pajamas, a lot of members will really value that, members and prospects. And the third question, of course, is do you want to earn some non-dues revenue from your webinars? Because you don't have to. You can just share these webinars by Kim Garst and Amy Porterfield and Mari Smith. These are all very excellent experts, and they'll provide value to your members. But of course, these are free webinars. At the end of these webinars, there's generally a sales pitch to sign up for their course or their business training and things of that nature. And the chamber wouldn't earn any money, and you would have to be the one that finds the webinars that are worthwhile. You wouldn't want to recommend a webinar helter-skelter, so you'd have to become a bit of a knowledgeable person on what webinars are the best webinars. But you can, if you want to just forward these on to your members, provide that kind of resource to your members. Nothing wrong with that. On the other hand, if you want to earn some non-dues revenue and keep these in-house and be the host of the webinars, you need to start looking around for some software. Now, I've tested Meeting Burner, AnyMeeting, GoToMeeting, On24, on and on and on and on. There's tons of companies in here. The company that I settled on after testing out all the others was Meeting Burner. You can sign up for free for small webinars, and it's got a low price point for medium-sized webinars, and you can actually do very large webinars. It'll record the webinars. It's integrated with PayPal, so you can charge for your webinars. This is what I use when I do my webinars, and I do several a week, all month, all year, providing training to people, most of them probably in their bathrobes. So here's some tips I've learned for how to promote a webinar through a chamber. First, email is going to be the avenue that's going to get you the most registrations. And people say, well, why is that? We'll post it to Facebook. We'll create a website for it. And you do need those other things, but you close the deal with email. The new social media sales funnel, it's called ARC, awareness, relationship building, and conversion. That attention, that awareness is created through social media, your Facebook, your Twitter, and things of that nature. But you don't close the deal on those sites. People aren't there to be sold to; they're there to socialize. And so you got to flip it over and look at the bottom of the funnel for conversion, for closing the deal, and that's where email comes in, and that's where your website comes in. People are used to getting an email with a coupon or an offer or something like that from a business. They expect that. You do that through Facebook, and all of a sudden that's advertising. That's social advertising, not social media. So don't make the mistake of trying to close the deal on Facebook. You promote it, you create awareness, you build some relationships, you create some credibility up there, but you close the deal through email. You send your first email maybe 10 or 14 days out, because people don't schedule these 6 weeks or 2 months out. It's fairly short sales cycle. And then you do your second email to your members and the people in your community, because hopefully you have a huge email list. You should nowadays. And 3 days out. And that's where you're going to get the vast majority of your registrations. On24 did a study of this, and they found that 64% of people that register for webinars do it in that final week, and you're going to find the same. So concentrate on the emails. Let me give you some more email tips here. Emails today need to be one column. People are looking at their emails on their smartphones. It's no longer, you can't have a 3-column email and have people with a little tiny screen having to use their 2 fingers to move around the email. Today, this is definitely a 1-column world. Another thing is one topic. People, if you put one topic on there with a call to action, you will get a significantly higher sign-up rate than if you put some organizations, some chambers do 5, 10, 15 topics in an email, and you get almost 0 click-throughs because it's too much information. People get lost in it and they don't take any action. So it's one column, one topic to close the deal. This is one I put together for the Clovis Chamber of Commerce, and you can see that it's really simple. One column, you can read it on your smartphone, and you just include all the information in a really scannable, bulleted format. Make sure you use buttons today in your emails. People have a hard time seeing the links and getting their finger to click right on the link, and they want buttons. They want things like, here I had a bunch of attendees for a webinar recently. These are chambers from across the country, and you click for details, and it's really just a big button that you can use on your smartphone. And then also, if you're going to offer a discount, like I always offer a chamber discount, put that right in the email. You don't want them to have to call up the chamber and ask for what's the code for the discount. You'll lose a significant portion of your signups there. Well, let's go through some other tips here. Yes, you should put your webinar schedule on your website. Post it to your homepage with a banner or something like that. Maybe even include it like Newmarket did on its own web page. Here's what the Sudbury Chamber does for theirs. They create an event on site for all their webinars, and it's nice and clean and fresh, has the discount code, sends people right to the registration page, even has the social sharing buttons so that they can reach beyond just their members to their prospects, the other businesses in the community. Include testimonials. You're the one with the credibility. You know the webinar presenters. You know whether they'll show up, whether they'll do a good job, whether they'll try to sell a bunch of things at the end, which would turn off your members. So include a testimonial. Bob Goltz did it here on a webinar that I'm doing for their chamber, and it's just that he has the relationships, he has the credibility, and you can even do a blog post on what the webinar is about, and that will drive traffic to your website. So for social media, you almost for sure want to create a Facebook event. This is what the Clovis, California Chamber did. They post up a nice image, has some good details in the descriptions. It has the rest of the details, including the discount code. And then you invite the people in your community that would probably attend. You can see here that Beth Bridges went through and invited 247 people. A bunch of people said they were going on Facebook, and of course that doesn't close the deal. You don't close the deal on Facebook, but you are able to put the registration link right in your description. You want to invite your friends to that and allow them to invite their friends. You want to get your social media ambassadors to share it with their friends because you're earning non-dues revenue. With every sign up here, the chamber's making money. And so it's all hands on deck for whoever wants to share it on Facebook through their friends. You might even want to do a promoted post with it. For $5 extra, $5 or $10, you turn it into a promoted post and it reaches the news feeds of a lot more of your fans and their friends. Again, you want to do it 10 to 14 days out. It backs up the email that they're getting so that they see it multiple times. People need to see a marketing message 3 to 7 times. And so you include your code, include the registration link, and then share it again 3 days out. Some other strategies here, a teaser video to let people know what the webinar is about. They're going to be investing some money here in this training. People are used to investing money in training. That's the way the world works for good quality training. It generally costs you something. That's why we don't do free events at Chambers, because who's going to show up for a free event? Generally, people think that you get what you pay for, so you don't do free live events. Well, you also don't generally do free webinars unless there's a sales pitch at the end, and your members generally don't appreciate being sold to that way. Anyway, we did a webinar teaser here for the Sudbury Chamber. 79 of their members watched the teaser, and a big chunk of those ended up signing up for the webinar. Share it on Twitter pretty much every day. Twitter, again, is like a radio station. It's not as if you can just post things once. You do it 2-3 times a day over the course of 7 days. It doesn't offend anybody. It's not too much, because most people will miss 1 or 2, and then they'll catch 1, and then they'll miss 1 or 2, and then catch another announcement, and it sinks in. So use Twitter. Post it to your LinkedIn group, post it to your Facebook group, post it to Pinterest if you have a good image of the marketing materials. You're generally going to be given flyers by who's ever helping you with your webinars. This should be turnkey for the Chamber, where you don't have to worry about registration and reminders and the payment processing and refunds if there's a refund because somebody missed it. All of that is automated nowadays. You shouldn't have to worry about that. But hand out those flyers at your events and put it in your printed newsletter. Put it on the bulletin boards that you normally do. Send it out in your e-blast if you're going to do your normal monthly e-blast with all the member news included in there. And then some creative ideas here is send out the press release. It links back to your website most likely, so you get some search engine optimization in there. Send it to the local newspapers and see if they'll run with it. Included in all the staff's email signatures. You send out hundreds of emails a week. Might as well earn some money from that, some non-dues revenue by people signing up for your webinars. Some chambers are creating a chance to win. They just do a random drawing for all the people that sign up for the webinar, and that person gets a free banner ad or something like that. People love incentives. And then media trade outs. If you're going to do one, tell the radio station, and they might interview you about that. They might even interview the person giving the webinar for you. I've created all of this on a handy little cheat sheet. If you want this, just send me an email at frank@frankjkenny.com, and it kind of just gives you something to work from.